What's up, brother?
Hey, how's it going?
It's good. I like
It,
your flag behind you.
oh, thank
Your
it's actually the old INFERI banner that they have in
okay,
my practice space right now, and they
okay.
haven't grabbed it yet. But it's super old. It's like a lot smaller than what we've been using for years at this
Mm-hmm.
point. So
Okay, how's it going actually, Spencer?
pretty good, man. How about yourself?
Good, good. So, first of all, it's a pleasure to talk to you, Spencer.
Likewise.
Congrats on the Archspire gig.
Thank you very
Yeah,
much.
perfect fit for the band. Perfect fit. Yeah.
Thank you.
How do you feel today? How was your
I
day
feel
so far?
great. It was good. I played drums a whole lot today. I'm in the middle of practicing for a session project that I got to start tracking pretty soon. So just trying to
Mm-hmm.
get the songs under my belt before I like start working on it rather than like like I wrote the parts a long time ago and
Mm-hmm.
kind of had to postpone the recording just because of all the Archspire stuff that came up rather than like trying to relearn the parts that I wrote as I record them. I was like, this is going to be better if I practice it first. So trying to get all the songs under my belt before I actually start like recording and everything. But
So it's not the Archspire because you guys already recorded the album,
no,
right?
Archspire is done. I finished that in June. Yeah.
We'll talk about it a little later, but yeah,
Okay.
because it's gonna be if I want it to be like the ultimate Spencer lore story of your life, like how you
Okay.
started. I wanted to ask you about the your place where you were born. Was it Nashville actually, or
Yeah.
no?
Yep.
We're born
Nashville,
there.
born and raised. I've been here my whole life.
So are you still living there?
Yeah.
Okay,
I live like north of Nashville a little bit, but yeah, it's a suburb of Nashville. So
good. Nashville. It's like a musical. From what I know, it's like the musical capital, right, of the
yeah,
state.
Music City. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
I mean, it started off as primarily country music, and that's
Mm-hmm.
still the case for a lot of it. But I mean, there's so many musicians who play all different kinds of music here at this point. You can find pretty much anything you're looking for here.
Is your like family the musicians or no? Are
Mm-mm.
they? No? Like
No.
have nothing to do with it.
No, like my grandmother was a piano player a little bit, but I mean, outside of that, not
Mm.
really.
Okay, so why drums then? Why music?
When I was young, all of my
Mm.
friends were getting into playing instruments and stuff. I wanted to learn something because everybody else was playing. I want to hang out with my homies and make music and stuff. And I started off actually wanting to play guitar, but then a buddy of mine had a drum kit, and I was like 10 and was hanging out at his house, and he showed me how to play Back in Black by AC/DC.
Okay.
And I just like fell in love with just like trying to like get my limbs lined up and play together and stuff. Just the challenge of like doing that was really interesting to me, and I just got super into it, and I ended up starting to take drum lessons and stuff. That's how I got into it.
Do you still play the guitar or no? You
I don't anymore. So like back then I wanted to play guitar and then I found drums. I started with drums and then like probably like 3 or 4 years after I started playing drums, I actually started taking guitar lessons as well. So I played guitar for 4 years, something like that, and then I still had guitars for a little while, and I'd like play around on them for fun. It was never like a priority for me. But then when I started actually getting real gigs and needing to like put time into playing drums, I felt like I didn't have the time to be as good as I wanted to at both. So I sold off all my guitar gear and I miss it for sure, but like I don't have time for it. Like, and if I had one, I'd practice too much and not put enough time into drums too. And you know,
yeah, you
I'll
can't just
probably get
be
one at some point, but I would want to be better than I'd have the time for. You know what I mean?
yeah, maybe someday because I'm also I have the drum set and I have the guitars and I just with a baby right now I just don't have time. Like absolutely
Yeah.
no time. You just I can't even practice like for 30 minutes a day. So I totally understand that you have to like prioritize one
Yeah.
thing over the other. When did you realize, okay, that's gonna take me somewhere, like the drumming? That when you thought, okay, wow, I think I'm gonna pick it as a career.
from the moment that I started doing it, even though I mean, like, you start out, nobody's good when they first start, but I was really
Of course.
interested in it and I was invested in it. And, like from that time, I was like, yeah, I want to be a drummer. And so, like, I started taking lessons when I was like at the end of fifth grade or something like that and played drums all
Mhm.
throughout middle and high school. And then I went to college. I started off as a music business major there, but I hated the music business classes and it was like irritating to me and I wasn't enjoying any of it and I didn't want to be involved with that. And I started taking drum lessons on campus actually because I was living on campus. I wasn't playing drums very much. I couldn't have a kit in my dorm or anything like that. And I felt like I was getting bad. And I just started taking lessons on campus, and my teacher was the one who convinced me to audition for the music program there. And then I ended up doing that and wound up graduating as a percussion major or whatever. So it's like towards the end of that, I kind of started seeing like, oh, it's possible to make a career out of this. It's definitely hard. Right outside of college, I started working at a drum shop here in
Mhm.
Nashville called Forks Drum Closet, just because I didn't really have a gig at the time that I could just go do and like go hit the road or anything. And I figured that'd be a good spot to like potentially meet people. But I had like local bands that I played in and stuff through playing shows around town. I ended up meeting Malcolm and Mike from INFERI. They, at the time, didn't have a band, like didn't have a full lineup, and they wanted to start playing shows and potentially start touring. So they reached out to me. I started learning that stuff, put all my other projects on hold, basically, and just started touring with them. And it started off okay and started getting better. And that was kind of when I was like, okay, I can make this happen.
It was Inferi your first touring band.
I had played
From
like regional shows, like out of town shows, but I hadn't like been on tour until I joined INFERI.
I don't know, maybe of course you graduated in percussion, right?
Mhm.
But do you like actually read music? Can you
Yeah.
like read? Yeah, you're
Yep.
good at it.
Yeah, I
Perfect.
I write all of my stuff in Guitar Pro. When I'm writing for an album or something, I write it all in drum notation in Guitar Pro.
How many years did it take you to like fully master it?
I sight read a little bit. It's not common. So, for example, the session that I'm working on right now, I wrote all of my parts in Guitar Pro. So, as I'm going through and relearning all this stuff, I have my laptop next to me and I'm playing along to the Guitar Pro track. And if it's like stuff that I don't like already have locked in my brain, I'm looking at my screen while I'm playing. So, like, I sight read some things, but it's rare that I sit down and like see a piece of music that I've never seen before and just play it. I used to do that all the time, but like if you don't practice that, you lose it. But like I can read and write music. It makes more sense to me than like I mean like I can program stuff. I use Cubase, so I can program drum parts in there, but it just makes so much more sense for me to look like right at like staff paper or like in Guitar Pro and see the notes laid out than it does like looking at a piano roll in a DAW or something like that. I think it's cool to be able to like put your ideas on paper and then you can just like forget about it until you need to come back to it. So when you're working on like multiple different projects, say I got to write for this album, but then I have to practice this other stuff because I'm going on the road with this band, but then I'm going to record this album when I get back home. I don't have the space in my brain to keep the notes for a whole album and a live set in my head and not like play that album for a month or something and then come back and record it. So, and then like as I go through things, I remember what I wrote, but it's hard to like just pull that straight from my brain if I haven't been like thinking about it or listening to it for a long time. So, it's a useful tool to have.
Indeed, yeah, it is. Regarding Inferi, you joined the band right when they already released a bunch of albums, right? Because
Yeah.
they
Yeah.
already had The Path, they already had The End of an Era.
The band started in 2006, and it was a local band at that point. I think the first record, very old record, Divinity and War, I think that came out in 2007. And then the original End of an Era came out in 2008 or 2009. And then the band disbanded. They went on hiatus for several years. And then Malcolm got a new group of people together several years later to record Path, which came out in 2014.
Hmm.
But at the time, it was like some of the dudes couldn't tour. I think some of them were like starting families or something. One of them had just moved to Texas. Like it was just kind of like impossible to try to get shows together. So they made that album, but they didn't really have like a lineup to go play the music live or anything. So it kind of went into another hiatus after that. I started playing with Inferi at the end of 2017. We played like three shows, two in Nashville and one we played Louisville Death Fest in Kentucky in 2017. And when I joined the band, the previous drummer had already recorded drums for Revenant.
Yeah, sorry.
Jack Blackburn. It was like his last hurrah. He wanted to be involved with the project, but wouldn't be able to tour or anything. So he recorded that album, and then I took over for him. We did our first tour together at the beginning of 2018, and then right after that tour, Revenant came out, and I just was in the band from that point until I guess this year.
Hmm. Because I thought, yeah, I actually
Oh
got it
yeah,
recently. Yeah, I
sick.
recently got the copy because this one is so hard to find, and
Yeah,
I
haven't repressed it in a long time.
they haven't. It was the first press, and that's it. I think,
Wow. Yeah.
yeah, probably, but yeah, Malcolm knows better. But with this one, I really thought before going into the credits, I thought that you were recording this one,
Oh really?
Not Jack,
Hmm.
but you.
Hmm.
And I was really surprised, like in preparation for the interview. I thought, okay, let's talk about. I thought we're gonna talk about Revenant because it's such a massive record, and I'm like, oh shit, he wasn't on it, but he had to learn the parts, right?
Yeah. And
How
we
was it?
played like I think we played there's what, 9 songs on that record? I think we played like 7 of them live. I think there were only like two on that album that we never played.
The record is so dense. Most of the songs are like 6, 7 minutes.
Hmm.
There's so much going on in each
Yeah.
song. How was it for you to learn all this stuff?
It was the hardest thing I had ever done at that point for sure, because the music is so dense. There's so many notes. If a part repeats, something about it changes the second time. Like it's not ever exactly the same as it was the first time. So like going through all of that stuff was really difficult, really tedious to learn all the different parts. And actually what helped me learn a lot of that stuff is I went through and transcribed all of it,
Oh, that's
which
cool.
also took a very long time. But it's like, okay, I'm gonna spend time and dig in and learn all of this stuff, and then I have it to reference in the future for if there's a song that I need to relearn or whatever. I've got the parts tabbed out. I don't just have to listen to the song and figure it out. But it was a process for sure.
Were you doing it like note for note, or maybe there were some parts okay, fuck it, I'm just gonna improvise a little bit.
For the most part, note for note.
Note for note.
Unless I had like
Crazy.
an idea that felt more like my style or just something that I wanted to do that I thought was cool that would still like serve the part in the same way. Like there was some things here and there that I changed a little, but I was for the most part trying to go for like as accurate to the album as I could.
When you heard this album, like first time, right? It was already like the finished material, right?
Yeah.
How did you feel?
Hmm.
How did you feel about it? Did you like, oh, what the fuck? I'm just gonna learn so much. What was your initial reaction to this one?
It was really intimidating, but I mean, so is Path. Both of those records are crazy. Jack is an insane drummer.
Yeah,
Um,
Path also. It's
yeah,
so
and
also so dense. It's like an hour of material of Path.
yeah. So like everything we played live prior to Revenant coming out was from Path, or we played a couple songs off of End of an Era. Except every show we were playing Behold the Bearer of Light, because that was the first
Mhm.
single, and there was like a pre-pro version that they put out like a year before the album came out, and it changed a little from the pre-pro version to the recording. So that was the only song from that record that I played until like the second tour that we did in 2018. So I had
Hmm.
some time to like sit with that music and get it in my head and practice it and everything before we started playing a bunch of Revenant material.
That's absolutely heroic. You know, or remembering all of it, transcribing all of it is just
It's a
absolutely
lot.
crazy. I can't even think how. When there was the Rebirth version, it
I
was it the
recorded
first
that.
one? You recorded that one.
That was the first thing I did recording wise with INFERI.
Also, another dance record.
Because I was trying to make the drum part sound more like what the drum part sounded like on Path and Revenant with my own spin on it. So it's like, okay, so I'm going back. So the first drummer for Inferi was Eric Brown, who plays with Necro Gobblecon. Super sick dude and drummer. So like going into recording that album, I was like trying to take his parts and get the right feel from those parts, but also make it sound a little like Jack, just for consistency with the more recent records, but then also trying to put like my own fill ideas and things like that in there. So I felt like I was trying to play like three different drummers at the same
Turned out
time.
sick.
As thank you.
Turned out really sick. I really like this one.
Hell yeah. Thank
It's
you.
both of them are, I don't know, like have special place in my heart, you know. They
Cool.
because the first one is just my no, it wasn't the introduction to the band. The path was,
Okay.
and then was the end of an era. But Rebirth, I don't know, a new spin to the record because the tuning was different from what I remember.
Tuning was
It's
different.
the
I
vocal.
think
Stevie came to the place. Yeah,
Stevie doing
I'm
the
sorry.
vocals,
Mhm.
and then so the drum parts were updated and the bass parts were updated. Otherwise, the riffs were the same. I think the solos were maybe a little different. Different tuning though, and then Stevie on vocals.
Great, like piece of history. It's like pre-pandemic, kind of
Yeah, that
2018.
we recorded it at the end of 2018 and it released in 2019.
And then even less than a year after, right, comes this one, right?
Yeah,
This one is also hard to get. I don't know. I don't want to like be showing off. Oh, you look, I'm just fanboy. I have all your records. I don't want to do the pictures of the albums later. I just want to like
sure.
show them.
Yeah.
And yeah, this one.
Yeah.
It was how much time passed between the like the end of an era and this one?
So let's see. I think we recorded End of an Era like November of 2018. And then we toured a bunch in 2019. And then we were like starting to write for a new record. And then the pandemic hit at the beginning of 2020. And the whole time we had been writing Vile Genesis,
Mm-hmm.
and we were planning on going and doing that with Dave Otero out in Denver. And that was still the plan, even though all of our touring plans for 2020 got canceled. And in the time that we were working on Vile, we cut like four potential songs from that record. And then it was leading up to going with Dave, and none of us had anything to do musically.
Mm-hmm.
So we were like, well, what if we took those four songs that we cut and made them a little bit better and recorded them and put out an EP? So in May of 2020, we reworked all four of those songs, reworked and recorded all of that in a month and a half, then went to Denver to record with Dave and release the EP while we were recording Vile
Oh, that's
in
smart.
Denver. So just
That's
to keep stuff moving when we couldn't like tour or anything like that, because what else were we gonna do?
so those songs were just outtakes from the album, right? The ones that
Yeah, we're
you
like they need some work. They're not as good as the other ones. And then it's funny that we all felt that way because at this point, I think that EP is what I'm proudest of from the whole band. I think
yeah,
like
it's
pound for pound, those songs are like, I mean, all the records have like merit for one reason or another, but I just really like the way that EP came out.
yeah, and most of the songs, at least two are right now in the set list.
Yeah, we were playing Eldritch Evolution and Aeon's Torn. We've played those on a ton of tours, and I think the headliner that they just did, they were playing Spellbound from that EP, which we had never played that one live before. Uh-huh.
But yeah, I have the whole set list. I mean, recorded from Nate. So I'll show
Sick.
you. He did amazing job. I didn't see any fuck up, so I think it
Yeah.
turned out well. So
He killed it when I saw them too.
yeah,
It
he's
was
an amazing
dope.
drummer. But yeah, since you started talking about the Vial Genesis, this one, right?
Yeah.
I think this one has the best. This one has the best mix. Has the
Sure.
best. I don't know. You could hear every instrument so well,
Hmm.
and there's no like domination of this instrument or another one, and the orchestral parts are like fitting so organically. So yeah, kudos to Dave for recording it.
Yeah.
So do you remember anything from that era? Like how did it go with the recording, with everything? Yeah, since you already started that, there are four songs that didn't make the cut, but like how's the recording process of the Vile one?
It was cool. It
Uh-huh.
was awesome. That was my first time working with Dave, and he's just great to work with. And it's really cool, like working with a producer who is also a drummer,
Oh,
because
I
he
did not.
gives really cool ideas, whether it's like changing a part or just like giving you input on how you should approach playing a part. He has really good input for all of that stuff, and it made me think about some of the parts in a different way than I had before. Like he'd give me an idea, and I'd either like maybe I'd try it out and it wouldn't work, or his idea would give me a new idea based off of what he said to do, and then that winds up being the thing that we did. But it was a really cool process for sure, because at
Mm-hmm.
that point, only recordings I had ever done were like totally self-produced, just me and whatever band I was in, you know. So that was like first time it felt like, oh, this is like a legit recording session. And it
Were you
was it was
intimidated?
early at
Did you get?
first, at first definitely, but like after a day or two, it it just felt everything felt good, you know.
Mm-hmm. That's good. So since you
Hmm.
started talking about the pandemic, how was it?
So leading up to the pandemic, we had done so like 2019 we did Tech Trek 4 with Archspire in May and June. And then we did a Canadian tour with Black Crown Initiate and Warforged that summer. And then we did a fall North American tour with Allegiant and Paladin. And then we went and did a Europe tour with Archspire. And then right at the very beginning of 2020, we did a short, like 2 week tour with Shadow of Intent, Brand of Sacrifice, Signs of the Swarm. Those last three tours, they each had like a week and a half, 2 weeks in between them. So we had
Mm-hmm.
just been like going, and we were all like, let's take a break from touring. We need to chill, be at home, do a new record. And then the pandemic hit, and I was like, oh, like, be careful what you wish for. You know what I mean? We had some direct support dates with Dahlia, Black Dahlia murder,
Oh
that we were
wow.
supposed to do that we never got to announce. It was like they had several off dates from, I think they were supposed to do a tour with Testament or something like that. Yeah, and we were going to do direct support for them on all the headlining off day shows that they had booked, and then that got canceled. Yeah, that's all we had lined up for 2020 at that point. Yeah, and then 2021 we were doing like a co-headliner with Black Crown Initiate, and Archaic was opening or something, and that got canceled because COVID came back or whatever. You know, we
Mm-hmm.
had a bunch of stuff like that, just like everybody else, you know?
Mm-hmm. But personally, it was probably hard, right? When you just are preparing for everything and then bum,
Yeah.
shit got shut down. Yeah.
Yeah, it sucked. And I mean, I was like still working at the drum shop at the time. So I had that at least, but that was weird. And, with the downtime, we wrote and recorded a ton of music. And then as soon as we were done with Dave in Colorado, it's just like, well, that's everything we had planned. Don't have
Mm-hmm.
anything else going on. And then it got a little dark for all of us, I think, just like
Yeah,
everybody else. It's
that's
like, when is it coming back? When can we do the thing again?
at
Yeah.
least it's all over right now. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. It's in the past. Five
Yeah.
years ago. That's
Yeah,
crazy.
5 years ago.
That's insane. Yeah.
Okay. Now we have the like another fun part, right? The INFERI, then the Archspire, the audition, right?
Hmm.
The first question I want to ask, which is, what made you decide, fuck it, I'm just gonna do it? Or was it fun? Was it like, oh, let me just do it for fun?
Well, so like first of all, the Archspire dudes are homies. Known them for a
Okay.
long time. We've toured with them a bunch. Inferi has literally played exactly 100 shows with Archspire at this
Wow.
point. Um, yeah, we've toured North America with them 3 times and then once in Europe. So already knew all the dudes. And then the day that they announced they were looking for a new drummer, we were on tour with Deicide and we were playing in Vancouver that day. And they were all coming to hang out and stuff. So we're like hanging out and talking about it and joking about it. Like, oh, what if Spencer's the new drummer? Like, you don't have to change the
Mhm.
bio or anything, like whatever. And then I was just like thinking about it and I was like, man, I kind of just want to do it. Like, even if I don't get the gig, I want to know that I can play this stuff. Because stylistically, I mean, sure, it's still technical death metal, but like the drumming is like totally different than the drumming in Inferi. There's like way fewer like traditional blast beats. There's a lot more switch blasts, which I had experience with, but not quite that fast, and all the gravities and stuff, which I didn't do at all prior to doing that. And part of it was like it'd be cool if I got the gig, and part of it was like I want to prove that I can do this for me, kind of. So I just did it.
And why this song? Why this one? Why the you thought that okay, that's the maybe you thought that's a staple, maybe you just like, oh, I
It's
like this
it's
one
a
better.
staple. They always play it. I already had it in my head, well, because I've heard it live and on record a million times. And I started with that one because there's not many gravities. And like I said, I had never really like spent time trying to do that. So I was like, okay, this is more in my wheelhouse. I can start with this one, and if I end up doing more, then I can put more time into the gravities and stuff. But I was like, for the most part, all these techniques already make sense to me. So I started
Hmm.
with that one.
Yeah, and you heard it like 100 times on tour as well, so you had
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
you had the idea how Spencer is doing it also, right?
Yeah.
It's
I've seen him play it
Spencer.
a ton of times. Yeah. Uh-huh.
Okay. Have you watched other people's videos? Have you watched others'
Yeah. I
auditions?
watched a
Okay.
ton of them. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
We were watching them on tour because, like,
Oh,
we were still on the road for like another 3 weeks before I even got home and started working on that stuff. So I kind of got my video in like late. But yeah, the whole time, I mean, every day more videos were coming out from a million different drummers, and we were watching them in the van.
which one stood out to you? Was there any?
Kevin Parody, all of
Hmm.
those were sick. I'm trying to
John
think.
from Origin. He
John's
made
was
one.
solid. Yeah. God, that feels like a million years ago at this point. Who else? That Cole kid who was like
Ah,
doing the right hand grab, but he was like reaching around to hit
yeah.
cymbals with his left hand. That was sick.
When you put it out, the
Mhm.
video itself, did the guys in Fear like, oh, he's trying to he's trying to get to, or were they cool about it? How, I, if you don't want to answer to this one, it's okay.
No, 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 that's cool. They were mostly cool. I think there was a little bit of like, oh shit, he's trying to join another band, but it wasn't like nobody was like mean to me about it. Everybody was cool about it. I let them know I was doing it right before I posted it. I was like, "Hey, just a heads up." Like I wasn't just gonna post it and like not say anything to them about it,
Hmm.
but I was like, "Just so you know, I did a video audition for Archspire. I'm gonna post it later today. Wanted you to know that before you just like see it on the internet and and it was fine.
Okay, so no bad blood.
No, not at all.
Okay,
And
good,
still
good.
not at this point. I mean, I still see and talk to them and stuff.
You know what I just realized? You kind of look like Kevin right now in this light. Kevin Perry. You guys have like both have glasses, the same kind of
Yeah,
haircut,
yeah.
the same beard. Okay.
That's
But
funny.
he but he's crushing it right now with the boarded. He's
Yeah.
just and also he's doing cephalic carnage. He's just
Oh, really?
amazing drummer. Yeah.
That's
He
cool.
he's yeah, he's gonna
I didn't
replace
know he was doing the
everybody.
cephalic thing.
Yeah. I
That's
think
cool.
it's a couple gigs or something. I don't know. But
Okay.
yeah, okay. Tell me about the day when you found out, okay, I'm did the guys like hit you up? Did they
My first
you were
video, when I put that one out, it was kind of late just because like I was still on the road for 3 weeks. And so many other people had already gotten their auditions out and stuff. So like it was a little confusing because like in December I had been working on and I had filmed another playthrough that I never put out. I did one for Golden Mouth of Ruin, which would be cool to put out still, but I don't know what happened. I can't find the audio for that on my computer. I have like the camera footage and the camera audio, but I don't have the recorded audio for it. But I was working on that one and trying to get just like the most perfect take I could. So I was like deleting everything because I was like, no, it's not good enough or whatever. And then Dean hit me up and he was like, hey man, we decided to go another route, but you never know what'll happen, so we might hit you up in the future if something doesn't work out. It was like, okay, cool. Probably not nothing's gonna happen with that. But he was being nice and I appreciated it or whatever. And then in March of this year, I was filling in for a local band here in town, some really good friends of mine who are kind of like in between drummers in their band. So I had been playing some shows with them and stuff, and I got off stage after playing a show. I looked at my phone and I had a message from Dean. He was like, "Hey man, you want to record this album?" I was like,
Mhm.
"Yeah." But I haven't played Gravity Blast in like 3 months or 4 months or something like that. Like I quit working on it because I was like, well, if I don't get the Archspire gig, I don't know. I'm not really gonna implement that into my playing or whatever. And then ended up having a phone call with him and then with all the dudes and started working on the music and I had like right at like almost exactly 3 months to prepare for the whole album and then flew out to Denver and did the thing.
Did Dave record it right? It was with Dave
Yeah.
Otero again.
Yeah, and he vouched for me pretty hard, which I really appreciate. Just because he had worked with me in the past. He put in a good word for me with all of them, even though they know me and we've toured together and they see me play. But um, I think that helped my chances a lot.
That's great. Was the recording process uh like very challenging? As you said, you had 3 months, but still, did you, I don't know, feel like okay, it's gonna be like super duper hard, or you came there with a breeze, recorded everything, and how was it for you?
It was not a breeze.
Okay, now
The
I'm
the
just
music,
no,
yeah,
knowing you
yeah.
as a amazing drummer, I thought okay, maybe he just if he had 3 months, it's probably
I came in prepared. I knew the music and stuff. It's just hard music. And I was very nervous at first just because it felt like a really big, like, make or break moment for me. But it was kind of nice just having worked with Dave before. It wound up going great. We just had like a couple long days because it's the sort of thing where it's like, okay, well, we did this, but what if we try this? Or it's like, what if you played this over on the left side of your kit instead of the right side of the kit? Or like, let's change this fill here. It was a lot of like tinkering. It was an interesting situation because I've never really done a recording like this before, but they had almost everything recorded except for drums when I went in there. So they
oh,
already had like pretty much all the rhythm guitars, all the bass, most of the vocals recorded already, which kind of gave us the space to be able to play around with different ideas and try a bunch of different things out, which is really cool because if you record drums first, what the drums do kind of forces everybody else to lock into that. But it was an interesting process as far as that goes. I kind of like recording that way because you can try out a bunch of different things rather than being like, okay, I prepared this song exactly like this, and this is how it has to be, and this is how I'm recording it. And I did this one rhythm, so now the guitars have to do that rhythm too, or whatever. It it was kind of cool. But when you're like trying out a million different ideas when you're playing like gravity blasts and stuff, it's pretty exhausting. So
Hmm.
we had some long days, but it was a cool process for sure.
Yeah, and I'm happy that it worked out for you. You know, like the whole recording, the stressful times are all behind, but you
Yeah.
still have to tour with all this stuff, right?
Yep. Yep. Yeah, it's gonna be
So,
hard.
but you got this. Probably like one
Yeah.
tour, or maybe like one, two shows, and then bum, you got it dialed in.
Yeah, it'll be okay. I have a lot of practice time before we do anything. And I mean, as soon as I'm done with this session that I'm doing, I'm going right back into practicing Archspire stuff. So, and I've still been practicing like gravities and doubles in my warm up and stuff. I just haven't been drilling songs.
You were saying that you used a lot of doubles in the record, right? And a
I
lot
use
of
some.
swivel.
I,
Some.
I use both. Yeah. There's just a few parts where it's like really fast.
Did you like follow all this drama that was going on, like with the fake drummers, with everything? Yeah.
A little
Or
bit. A little bit. I didn't keep up with that too much.
yeah, like a lot of
But
accusations.
I do, respect Mike Caputo for putting all that stuff out there, you know.
Okay.
I didn't like, I saw some of it, but I didn't get involved or anything, you know.
Yeah, you don't have to. You don't have to. You like prove everything with your playing. You know, everything
Thanks.
is up there. Everything is up there. And is there anything so you said that probably there's going to be tour, but it's like very far away from now, right? Not
Not this year, but next year's gonna be busy.
okay.
Yeah.
Perfect. Perfect. Would you mind if
Yeah.
we talk about like your technique really quick? You're doing the swivel,
Hmm.
right? How much did it take you to master it, to like to dial it in? Because you have like probably one of the best swivels that I've ever seen. Just
Man,
very
thank
like
you.
very dialed in, no sloppiness and shit.
I feel like I'm still dialing it in.
I think you're good. Okay, so how
Uh,
much time did it take it?
it took me like So I learned how to swivel when Mike and Malcolm hit me up to join INFERI. Because before that, I didn't really like have a solid foot technique, I feel. I could like muscle out stuff, but like before INFERI, I was probably maxing out at like 220 BPM. Like I wasn't playing any faster than that. And that music calls to play a lot faster than that. And I was like, this isn't working for me. I got to learn something. And I watched videos of people doing that, and it just from the get-go felt better to my body than doubles did. So I just kind of leaned into it and started working on swivels. And it probably took me like 6 or 7 months before I was like, okay, like I think I can do this live. And that was when I
Hmm.
started using triggers too. I had never used triggers prior to playing with Inferi. To me, I appreciate what you say for sure. It still feels like a work in progress to me some days. Some days are better than others. You know, you have bad practices and good practices, bad shows and good
Absolutely.
shows. Yeah, I feel like I'm still like, oh, if I raise my heel a little bit in this part, it gives me a little more power for this section or whatever. You know, it's just like I'm still like but that's with everything drumming.
Hmm.
You know, you always like unlock new things and stuff and notice things differently when you're playing and stuff. So it's all a work in progress.
Do you have any fatigue when you playing it? Because I heard a lot of drummers are saying, "Oh, I have like my knee hurts." Does it backfire you anyhow, or you have it like dialed in so it doesn't?
If I'm playing like really high tempos for a long time, sometimes my left like calf will get a little sore or I'll just kind of get off. I'll just get off a little bit. It just kind of gets out of sync with my right foot
Hmm.
sometimes because it's getting tired or whatever. I've never noticed any knee pain so far. Um, Knock on wood, you know. But I've been playing swivels almost 8 years. Or I started learning them a little over 8 years ago. So I've been playing them for like 8 years and I haven't had any knee pain.
It's
Um,
good.
yeah. So I
Meaning
hope
that
that it continues.
meaning is that it works for you.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Because for some people this technique works, this doesn't work, right? For example,
Everybody's body is different.
Yeah, and the length of your leg can even
Hmm.
affect which technique works for you, which doesn't. But yeah, you said heel toe didn't work at all.
It felt weird. I don't know, I couldn't figure it out, but the swivels made more sense to my brain for some reason. So that's just what I started working with. But
Hmm.
now I can play doubles. Now I do both.
With Archspire, right? Because
Yeah,
yeah.
well, I started like listening to some of their stuff and then some of the new material. I was just like, oh my God, I have to learn how to play doubles because, like, I'm not, I mean, maybe one day could get it with swivels, but I didn't have that much time. So I started learning how to do double strokes back in March. They're on the new Archspire record for sure. But there's also
Oh,
swivels. It just depends on like the tempo and the part and what feels better at the time.
so you're like Dying Fetus drummer.
Does he do both?
Yeah, he does both. Trey, yes, Trey, he does both. He
Okay,
like,
that's sick.
yeah, one segment he can do. He does like doubles. One segment he does swivel. In the same song, which is crazy for me.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
sick. And honestly, I mean, if you can like swivel something for a little bit and then switch to doubles, you're still using your legs, but you're using different muscles to do both of those. So you give like part of your leg a break for a little bit and then swap to the other, and that's kind of just like conservation of energy, which I think is sick. I'm always trying to find ways to keep moving forward without getting exhausted, you know what I mean? So
Mm-hmm. Especially with the 50-minute sets. With those intense 50-minute sets, how did you have your hands dialed in?
I have a different stretch routine that I do before and after I play, every time I play, whether I'm playing a set or practicing at home or whatever. And like the first one is more about like loosening up and getting my body ready to move. And then the one at the end is more like actually stretching out my muscles and making sure I'm not tight the next day. But yeah, I've had that stretch routine that I always do before I play, and then like usually when I'm on tour, I'm warming up the entire set of the band before me.
Oh,
Um,
crazy. So, which is like for first hour, you play the set as a warm up, and then you play the whole set with the band.
well, I
Crazy.
don't play the set when I'm warming up. I just do like single stroke exercises and stuff. I just get my hands and fingers and feet and ankles and stuff ready to
Mm-hmm.
go. So it's usually, I mean, like I've had all different kinds of warm-ups and stuff, depending on what the set calls for. I'll change like my routine a little bit, but it's usually some variation of like alternating single eighth notes with my right hand to my left hand, same thing with my feet, and then I'll do like sixteenths for 4 bars, 8 bars, 16 bars with my
Mm-hmm.
hands, and then I'll go do it with my feet, and then I'll bump the BPM up 10 and do it all again or whatever, But I don't know. I feel like I still haven't figured out like the warm-up routine to do every time. It always changes
Mm.
for me. I find different things work better sometimes or for a while, and then they wind up not working as well for me, so I do something else. It's
And yeah, and sometimes it's boring, right? When you have like the same exact
super
routine.
boring.
When you have the
So
same
boring.
routine, like when is it gonna
Especially
be
if it's
over?
just single strokes, because it's like, you get to a certain tempo or whatever, and it becomes a little physically demanding, but it's not mentally challenging at all. So, what I do a lot of the time, at least when I'm at home, I don't do this on the road, but I'll like have my laptop set up right next to me if I'm playing at the kit, or if I'm just practicing on pads or something, I'll turn my TV on. And I just like watch YouTube videos because I figure it's like, okay, if I can like give something else my attention and pay attention to that and know what's going on and still lock in on the drums, then that should just make locking in on the drums without any other thing that I'm paying attention
Mm-hmm.
to easier. And it also keeps it from being as boring. I can like
Yeah.
watch videos and stuff. And
Yeah, that's
if
cool.
if I'm like if I suck, then I'll turn it off and like focus a little.
And
But usually
focus.
it's just a warm up. So
But do you
yeah.
have like flying fingers? Do you do the flying fingers? What is it? German, French? What is that? I couldn't
So
figure it out quite when I was
for
watching your.
for a long time, what I was doing was, I guess, like American grip with my right
Uh-huh.
hand or German or something. It's like hand on top with my right hand.
Mm-hmm.
But for the fast stuff, in a lot of the videos that I have like on YouTube, I was doing like French grip with my left hand. So like flying fingers kind of what I've been working on lately, and I haven't gotten it totally up to the speed that I want yet, but I've been trying to have my left hand, trying to
Mm,
get my left hand on top, use more like forearm and wrist and finger rather than just finger. Just trying to mirror my right hand as much as possible and not be using two different techniques. But that also was kind of the thing when it was like when I first joined INFERI, I didn't really know what I was doing. I was watching videos. I was trying to like watch fast drummers that I liked and see what they did. And it was like my right hand was solid and my left hand wasn't at the time. And what worked then was to get the flying fingers thing down. That felt better to me than doing my left hand on top. So that's what I developed and worked on for a long time. And, within, I don't know, kind of recently, I've just been like, I want both of my hands to look the same. So I'm trying to
hmm.
like even it out in practice and stuff. And it's still a work in progress, but it's getting better. So
Good.
just trying to put the time in for that.
Have you tried push pull?
I have, and I can do it a little bit. I can do it like with one hand individually. I've struggled trying to alternate, like doing 16th notes with it.
Hmm.
And I just don't feel like I get very much power out of it, which I guess isn't really the point, but I don't know. I haven't worked on it much at all. I used to, when I worked at the drum store, we had a huge pad on the front counter. And when I was just bored sitting there, I'd kind of like try to do it.
Hmm.
But I don't know. I never really like actually put it into practice. So
Yeah, the second hit is always weaker than the first one.
yeah,
Like no matter how, it's only like a couple people, like the guy from Russia, which is Blast Beatology.
that guy's
Yeah,
crazy.
this guy has like super heavy sticks. Like they're
Yeah.
super big, super
Mhm.
heavy, and he has the cymbal endorsement, so he can crash as many fucking cymbals as as
Yeah. Yeah.
as
Yeah.
he wants. So yeah, that's how it's working for him. So okay, do you want to watch something? Do you mind if we watch you play for a couple minutes? Are you
Sure.
okay? Are
Watching
you
watching
okay? Yeah.
old stuff.
Yeah, like this one.
Yeah.
Which is you playing blindfolded, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And when I saw this one, I thought, okay, that's crazy. Like how does he do it? But like let's dive in really quick to this one.
Yeah, let's
Okay.
do it.
Okay. Do you hear it?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Okay.
I haven't watched this in forever.
Okay. Look at you without hair. Okay. Did you see through anything or it was like completely
No,
blank?
it was just like a thick black
Okay.
blindfold.
Okay. And what I like, you had like four toms. You switched to
Yeah.
three. What was the decision behind it?
I felt like I kept writing and playing like a lot of the same kinds of fills and stuff, and I was wanting to try to come up with newer ideas. And I was like, okay, if I take one voice away from my kit, then that's gonna force me to come up with cool stuff with less. And then on top of that, it's just like one less thing to keep up with when you're on tour or setting up every day or whatever. And
Okay.
now I don't want to go back to three up
Okay.
personally. I like two up, one down.
That's a good decision. Okay, let's do a couple seconds of this one. So what I like is your symmetric drum set that it's
Uh-huh.
um kind of did that help you get to the symbols where you or how is it possible? Like how did you do it without seeing shit? That's my
Well,
question. Is it mechanical
so
memory?
yeah, it's a lot of that. I mean, if you set your kit up the same way all the time, then there's a lot of muscle memory as far as like when you reach for something and expecting it to be there, it's still going to be there. And honestly, for me, this was something that one of my old drum teachers taught me a long time ago. But he would like have me practice with my eyes closed because he's like, if your eyes are closed, You are listening to everything you're doing. You're feeling everything that you're doing. And your eyes don't get in the way as far as like you're not paying attention to watching your hands. You're paying attention to how things sound, how you're hitting things, how it feels when the stick rebounds and stuff. And it just kind of like removes one sense so you can focus on that stuff. And through doing that, a lot of the time, not always, but for a lot of parts, I feel like it's actually a little bit easier for me to play with my eyes closed
Wow.
than with them open. So if I'm playing live or practicing and I feel like I'm getting off or something, I'll close my eyes and it helps me like lock in a little bit.
Crazy.
So,
That's some Shaolin kind of shit. Like on honestly, if you ask me.
like your hands aren't getting in the way of your face and you're not like, it's just like one less thing to think about. Take it out of the
Okay.
equation and then like really feel what you're doing and it
Hmm.
can make it a little bit easier.
Okay, let's watch a couple more seconds of this
Sure.
one and watch another one with you.
This is my favorite part.
This one,
Yep.
with the
It
like,
doesn't happen long enough. It's just like a really sick little groove, and then it's out, and it never happens again. And that's like my
yeah,
favorite
that's
part
the
of the
thing
whole
about
song.
INFERI, right? There are like some parts that you like, oh, I wish it was longer. And then
Hmm.
bam, there's another part. We fucking move on. We
Yeah.
don't care about what happened before. Okay.
Yep.
I like this feel, this one a lot. Dum 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 with the like with the snare
Yeah. Yeah.
and
Yeah.
actually did you come up with this one? How
Uh,
or it was already like programmed
it wasn't
before?
like it wasn't programmed. I don't know if that's exactly what Jack played there, but it
Mm-hmm.
was something like that where the snare is like on the upbeat and it's toms and snare alternating, and that's what I
That's
worked
what you
out for the
okay.
part. Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly what he played, but it was something along those lines.
Another video I like the most, which is this one. Do you
Oh,
see it?
sick. I like this one too, yeah.
Man, that's like there's the part that I enjoy so much. If there's anything you want to like say along, would be perfect.
I love the studio we did this playthrough at too. We recorded Sunless here on
Mm-hmm.
drums. And we recorded drums for the upcoming Inferi album at the same studio.
So my question is with the hi-hat, right? The one that you're using, the auxiliary one.
Hmm.
So I don't see you a lot using the hi-hat on, like playing cross-handed. Is it because of the space that you don't have a lot
It's
of space?
It's partly that because I like playing open-handed for stuff like
Uh-huh.
that because I'm not crossing my arms. I have more room to get a little more stick height with my left hand, and especially for like heavy hitting parts like rim shots and stuff, I want to like lay into the snare a little bit and pick my arm up a lot, and it's just a lot easier to do that when you're playing on the right side rather than like crossing your arms.
Mm-hmm. Good.
So a lot of the time, I will play like blast beats, open hi-hat kind of stuff on the right side, and then when there's something that calls for open and closed hi-hat, then I'll switch over to the left side because my right side is just a hi-hat on a hi-hat attachment. Like there's no way to open and close it unless you actually like grab the clutch and loosen it and tighten it. I don't have like one of the hydraulic pedals or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's pretty
That's
much
the
what I
main
do.
reason. So it's like convenience. Why? Okay, I
Yeah.
totally understand. Yes.
And then
Okay. And
also I have more cymbals on the right side, so having my right hand there already for hi-hat stuff opens me up to hitting a bunch of different accents and stuff all right in that area.
there's this part that I really enjoy. You probably know what it's gonna be.
The grab. hi-hat, the grabby.
Yes. This is the crazy part. Like, how did you come up with this?
Man, I was literally just trying to remember how I came up with that. I think I was so I had been watching a lot of Dan Presland videos at the
Oh,
time.
makes sense.
And he does something similar where he'll grab the rod of the hi-hat and like press it down. And I thought that was really cool. And for that part, I wanted to like chill it out a little bit, like just slow the part down a little because the whole beginning of the song is just crazy. So that's kind of like where the mostly eighth note feel of the kicks comes in. But I was like, I need to do something else on top of it. I need like some accents or something because I got like some space to do something kind of groovy for once, which is like becoming more common in INFERI music, but wasn't always. I don't remember how I came up with the actual pattern.
But that's enough of an answer for me, which is
Okay.
that's good. That's good. And what I also like in this song specifically that there are a lot of quick runs for the double bass, like this one.
Yeah.
Is it like to complement the guitar?
Yeah, because the guitar is like so it's like it's
Mm-hmm.
yeah, pretty much going along with the rhythm riff.
Okay, there's the one that I think you will really enjoy, which is Nate, San Diego. So I was
Hmm.
there and I recorded the whole set. Is there any of the songs that you wanna watch Nate play?
Um,
Hive,
man,
Tainted Pact.
I'm down with whatever.
Okay.
Any of
Uh
them is fine with me.
okay, let's watch a few minutes of the first one, I would say.
Okay, Simeon Hive.
Okay. Yeah, let's do it. Again, it's not mixed. It's the Zoom
Sure,
H5 microphone because I still haven't got the mix. That's why it's not released yet. So,
gotcha.
if you have anything to say, just feel free. Okay,
Okay,
let's go.
this song sucks, man. To learn, there's a lot of little tricky things, especially just
Uh-huh.
in that main riff right there. But Nate's killing it.
He is doing the doubles. You were doing the
Hmm.
swivel
I
in
was
this
doing
one. Is that
swivels.
correct?
Hmm.
Okay, correct. Anything so far?
He's killing it. And he
Mm-hmm.
did when I saw him play too. There's so many, and I'd never really like thought about the music this way until I like watched somebody else play it. But there's so many like intricacies in the drum parts and stuff. All of those songs like would be a nightmare to learn.
They
And
are.
he
Okay.
crushed it. And I know, like, I mean, I've talked with him about this and stuff. He was saying he's like, not everything is like 100% accurate to the album, but I'm gonna keep practicing and getting some of it down. But like, he didn't have a lot of time to get the set down or whatever. And I was like, dude, like, who cares? Like, as long as you're playing tight and you're not playing like something that doesn't make any sense in the part, it's gonna be fine. There's a couple spots where like he doesn't do all the same accents that I did on the
Mm-hmm.
ride or like something like that or whatever, but like so many of those parts he did catch just in that like short little clip. It's like that's pretty accurate. He's doing great and he did great when
Okay.
I saw them, and I've got tabs for him that I've sent him for some stuff to help out with some things, and I've like I wrote out like the stickings for some parts and stuff for him. So I sent him that stuff, and then he sent me like some double stroke exercises so I could get better at the double strokes and stuff. So like,
Okay.
we're both helping each other out and stuff.
That's really cool.
But
That's really cool.
yeah.
Okay.
there's so many feel changes in the song, and he's hitting all of them.
So he's nailing it, and also
Yeah,
with the cymbal with the
yeah,
right part. Is it too?
yeah,
Okay, he's.
yeah.
I thought so too. This part is so cool. Malcolm background.
Yeah. Got the Nike thing.
It's a long run.
It's one of the slow songs for Inferi,
Mm-hmm.
so it wasn't too bad compared to some of the other stuff. I think it's like 215 BPM, I think.
It's kind of a
Maybe
still
220.
not the best speed, you know. It's kind of
Totally, totally.
again,
Yeah.
it's a
And it's weird because
transitional
it's
speed.
triplets too. And then you got
Yes.
the weird, the like kind of swing hi-hat pattern over the top of it.
And you also play it with the doubles, which is also, I think it's more difficult to play it
I
with
think
doubles.
I think it would be harder to play with doubles than singles also. I've never
Triplets
tried to
with
play that
doubles
with doubles.
fucking suck.
Yeah. Yeah.
They do suck. That's what I'm working on right now.
Hmm.
And it sucks. Okay, I'm not gonna trauma dump you, but yeah. So kudos to Nate. He's just such an amazing replacement, I think.
I do
Um,
too. I'm so glad they got him. I know he's doing the next tour with them with Revocation too. I'm bummed it's not coming close here, or else I'd go
mhm.
check him out again.
Yeah. Maybe one day you'll do it.
I'll see
I
him
also,
again for
yeah.
sure.
Okay, let's do the last one and I'll let you go. And yeah,
Cool, man.
we cool. Let's do
Chilling.
this one. And I have like a couple follow-up questions for you here.
Sure. Yeah,
Okay.
definitely.
You said you were learning the Switch Blast, kind of you knew it a little
Yeah,
bit.
like I did switch blasts before that, but I had never done them that fast before.
Hmm. Was it
Um,
difficult for you to learn like this specific part?
yeah, yeah, it was because I had to like it's so fast and just getting it tight and having each note come through without like one hand getting over the other, but still like trying to get any kind of semblance of power out of it was really tricky, and I really had to like focus and lock in for that part.
Hmm. And also the two hi-hats. Was it
It's
beneficial?
nice. It's nice because I can open up and I'm not crossing. And that's the thing, like crossing over, I mean like it's the same sticking, like I could do it, but it's a lot more comfortable and fluid to me to just open hand all of it.
Yeah, you crushed this part.
Thank you. One of the hardest parts of this was
Yeah.
doing the descending tom blast
Tung tung
thing
tung
and
tung. This one, right?
hitting the ride bell in the middle of it because I'm pretty sure I think Spencer had his one of his bells set up kind of where I have my splashes, but I didn't want to move the bell up there. I didn't want to take a splash out. So you can see I have it like kind of lower to the left of my snare.
Yeah.
But like I couldn't like do that blast and reach over and hit my bell
So you
because of
put
how
the
low it was. So I had to
so you put the
reach
splash there.
really fast over to the ride bell and then come back to the toms. That part messed me up so many times trying to record this. That
And then
that
you
part's hard.
decided, okay, I'll put it there. I'll put the
I
little
did end
bell.
up I did end up raising my bell a little bit. I've got it more now. It's kind of like so you see my left hi-hat and my left
Mm-hmm.
splash. It's kind of like right in between those two now.
Mm-hmm.
But I think I'll still probably reach over from the toms to the ride bell to play that part because it would still
Mm.
be like kind of an awkward crossover. Not as bad as how I have it set up here, but
That I didn't know about this. But yeah, thank you. Thank you for the
yeah,
insight how on the bell. Okay,
yeah,
let's get to the gravity part and we'll finish
yeah.
here. The triplets. That,
That's
yeah, was
fast.
it?
That's a hard spot too.
Uh-huh. And I'm surprised that you were not using the auxiliary one, the
The
hi-hat.
reason I didn't, I don't know why I did that over there. Maybe
Okay.
that's because that's what he did, because he only had one hi-hat in his setup.
What I like in this part is that the accent in the hi-hat, they are repeating the guitar note again, like
Hmm.
tum tum, and you are also doing it tum tum with the like when the hi-hat closes.
Hmm.
Uh, Perfect part. I was learning the gravity blast with your weaker hand, right? Is that correct or no?
Yeah, yeah, definitely. Right hand is definitely stronger. Although at this point, like now, I've put in a lot of time. I think my left hand gravities are better than my right hand
Mm-hmm.
ones. Um, for that video in particular, I did right hand more out of necessity because I was trying to get a video out quickly, and I was like, okay, I can get this better with my right hand than I can my left hand right now. But now there's stuff that fast for longer than that I do with the left hand, like on the new album coming out and stuff. But that's just because I've had time to devote to practicing that at
Mm-hmm.
this point.
That's
But
true
yeah,
because
also doing it with the right hand kind of sets you up to get that fat rim shot right at the end. Um,
hmm.
because like right at the end of the gravity run, there's like one big snare hit. So I
Mm-hmm.
like hit the china with my left hand and then come in with the left on the rim shot.
Oh,
See,
that's what you were talking about.
yeah, yeah,
Bah.
mhm. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. When it comes to watching your own stuff, it's like a lot of people get well, like self-conscious about it,
Yeah.
and I'm happy that you said yes to that.
Yeah, I try not to. It's really hard, especially with older ones. It's like, oh man, that looks like shit now
Mm-hmm.
to me. Like the Beckoning Thrall video, like there's some cool stuff in there, but like even watching that, we hadn't played that song live in forever, but I was like, oh, I do so much stuff differently with that one live, and I could play it a lot better at this point, but that was from a long time ago.
Mm-hmm.
I could sit there and critique the hell out of it, but I'm not gonna do
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, but you still crushing it. I
Thank
watched
you.
the playthrough that you were talking about, and again, as the person who just, you know, mostly a watcher, it's I didn't see anything like bad. Yeah, of course, self-critiquing
Yeah.
is important always. But thank you very much, Spencer,
Yeah, of
for,
course.
is it the first time you were being interviewed after joining the band or someone already
Actually,
did?
yeah, first time after joining the
Wow,
band.
okay.
Yeah. We do have a video guy kind of like working on a documentary for the making of the new album and stuff, and
That's cool.
he interviewed me after the dudes hit me up to do the recording before I did the recording. And
Oh,
then he was there while I was in Denver. He was hanging out filming some extra stuff, and I'm actually doing like a exit interview with him like in a couple days.
mm-hmm.
Um, but yeah,
Cool.
yeah.
But it's gonna be released like in
Yeah,
months
I
and
won't
months
be
and
out until
months.
the album's out. Yeah.
Good. I'm feeling honored that I was able to do it, first after you
Yeah,
joined the
man.
band. Yeah, and
It was a pleasure. Thanks for hitting me up.
such an amazing conversation. I learned so much from you.
Cool.
And
I'm
yeah,
glad.
hopefully people who watch it will learn a lot from you as well. Thank you.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, thanks so
And
much, man.
yeah, good luck with, with the tours. I think that you will crush it. Everything's going to be okay. And yeah, people will see you on the road.
Yeah, for
Do you
sure.
feel excited actually? Do you feel like
Oh yeah.
a little worried about like the first tours and everything?
I right now I'm very excited. I'm going to be really nervous when it's time for the first show, of
Okay.
course.
Yeah,
There's a lot riding on it. But after a few days, be in the
it's
swing of
gonna be.
things, it'll be like normal. I have a lot of touring experience. It's more just the like, oh shit, this is my first show with Archspire, and there's an expectation behind that. But I'm gonna put in the work, do my best.
Yeah, you're gonna crush it, I'm sure. Okay.
Thanks, man.
Thank you very much. You have a
Of
good
course.
night,
You
brother.
too,
Yeah,
man.
bye.
Later.